The airport was chaos. People hurried in every direction, dragging luggage and screaming over flight delays. Kids cried, security barked into walkie-talkies, and flight attendants tried to soothe frayed nerves with strained smiles. In the middle of this madness, a single dad named Ethan gripped his daughter Lily's tiny hand, scanning the terminal for their gate. He looked exhausted, his flannel shirt rumpled, his eyes heavy from the 4 a.m. wake-up. His daughter, Lily, clutched her stuffed unicorn and blinked up at him. "Daddy, are we going to Miss Grandma's house?" Ethan smiled, trying to hide his stress. "Not if we move fast, sweetheart. Let's play our sneaky ninja game again, okay?" Lily giggled and nodded, and they darted forward like secret agents. But just then, a sound stopped Ethan in his tracks. It was the soft sob of a child. It's not loud, not dramatic, but heartbreaking. Ethan turned and saw a little boy, maybe 6 years old, sitting near a vending machine with his knees pulled to his chest. He had neat brown hair, a little blazer too big for his small frame. His face was red with tears. Something told Ethan to walk over. "Hey, buddy." Ethan knelt down. "Are you okay? Where's your mom or dad?" The boy sniffled and wiped his nose with the back of his hand. I don't know." "And you went to get something?" "But it's been a long time." Ethan's chest tightened. He glanced around. No one nearby looked concerned. Hundreds of people were moving, and not one noticed the small boy sitting alone. "What's your name?" Ethan asked gently. "Noah?" the boy whispered. Lily stepped closer and looked at him. "Hi, I'm Lily. Don't cry. My daddy's nice." Noah blinked at her. "I lost my daddy." Ethan took a slow breath. "Okay, Noah. We're going to help you, all right? You stay with us until we find your nanny or your dad?" "Okay," Noah said, voice barely audible. Ethan stood, holding Lily's hand in one, and reaching for Noah's in the other. The boy hesitated, then slipped his tiny fingers into Ethan's, and just like that, Ethan found himself guiding two kids through a hurricane of sound, people, and confusion. What Ethan didn't know was that Noah Grayson wasn't just any lost child. He was the son of one of the wealthiest CEOs in the country. His father, Charles Grayson, was in a meeting room across the terminal, unaware that his son was even missing. For the next 12 hours, everything would change, and it all began with a hand. Asterisk, the morning sun pierced through the wide glass panes of the airport terminal, casting long golden beams across the quiet, mostly emptied lobby. It was a strange kind of calm after the storm of yesterday's chaos. For most people, the holiday hustle was a blur of late flights and lost luggage. But for Ethan, Lily, and a little boy named Noah, it had been a night that would change all of their lives. Ethan hadn't slept much. He lay on his side, one arm draped protectively around the two children. His flannel jacket pulled over them like a makeshift blanket. They had made a small nest in the far corner of the terminal, away from the traffic of passengers. Noah had cried himself to sleep, his small fingers still clutching Ethan's shirt. Lily had insisted he be allowed to sleep next to them, whispering, "He's scared, Daddy. I want to be his big sister." Ethan didn't have the heart to say no. By sunrise, murmurs began spreading. A few airport workers were whispering, pointing. Someone had posted a picture online, a grainy snapshot of a rugged-looking man curled around two sleeping children. The caption read, "Stranger cradles lost boy all night in airport while chaos unfolds. Who is this mystery dad?" Within hours, the photo was going viral. Hashtag Airport Tangel was trending elsewhere, inside a private suite high above the chaos of economy class travel. Charles Grayson had just stormed out of a video conference when he received the news. "Sir, it's your son, ... Those 5 words hit like a wrecking ball. Charles barely let the assistant finish before demanding details. Within minutes, he was looking at the photo. He zoomed in. The scruffy man was holding his son, his Noah, safe, sleeping, but with a stranger. Charles' face went pale. Rage and fear fought for control. "Get me to Terminal C now." Back in the terminal, Ethan was trying to wake the kids gently. He didn't know what the next step was. He'd reported the lost child hours ago, but no guardian or staff ever showed up. All he could do was keep Noah safe and wait. Part of him wanted to find whoever let this happen and give them a piece of his mind. Suddenly, heavy footsteps echoed through the hall. That's him. That's the man. Ethan looked up just as security guards approached. Behind them strode a sharply dressed man with steel-gray eyes and an expression like thunder. "Charles Grayson? You? Step away from the boy." Ethan stood, confused and protective. Noah stirred, blinking awake, his eyes wide with fear. "Daddy," he cried out, seeing Charles. Charles stopped in his tracks. Noah wiggled free and ran into his father's arms. Charles dropped to his knees, gripping his son tightly. "I thought I lost you," Charles whispered, his voice breaking. Ethan lowered his arms, feeling a strange mix of relief and sadness. Lily stood close to him, watching. "Why was my son with you?" Charles asked sharply. Looking up, Ethan explained. Everything. How he found Noah alone. How security was overwhelmed. How they waited, called, and tried everything. His voice never rose, but it carried strength. "He needed someone," Ethan finished. "I couldn't just walk away." Charles studied him. Something about Ethan's tired eyes and calm demeanor silenced the accusations in his mind. He looked at Lily, who clutched her dad's hand. Noah interrupted. "He held my hand when I was scared, Daddy, and Lily gave me her unicorn." Charles glanced at the stuffed toy in Noah's grip. He softened. Just a bit. They moved to a quieter lounge, one normally reserved for executives. There, with warm drinks and soft chairs, the tension slowly thawed. Charles listened as Noah told the full story. How Ethan made funny faces. How Lily let him draw on her tablet. How he didn't feel so alone anymore. Then Lily spoke quietly, but clearly. "My mommy's in heaven. Sometimes my daddy looks sad too, but he always helps people, even when it's hard." Ethan looked down, throat tightening. Charles turned to him. "What do you do, Ethan?" "Used to be an architect, had my own firm. But after my wife passed, I stepped back. I've been freelancing, raising Lily." There was silence. Then Charles, in a tone that surprised even himself, said, "You ever think of coming back full-time?" Ethan shrugged. "Only if it felt like the right reason." Charles stood and extended a hand. "Design something with me. I'm building a children's hospital. I think we need someone with heart." Ethan looked at the hand, then at Lily, then back at Charles. He stood and shook it. "Got yourself an architect." 3 months later, a press conference revealed the new hospital plans. Ethan's name was on the plaque. Lily and Noah stood beside him, holding hands in the crowd. Someone whispered, "That's the guy from the airport story, the one who held the CEO's son." Charles took the podium. "Sometimes we find heroes in unexpected places. This building isn't just about medicine, it's about hope. And it started the day a stranger held my son's hand when I couldn't."